just lifted it up.
Well, what we have here is a vertical mill. I picked this up about a year, maybe even 2 years ago. Backed it up, loaded it on my car trailer. This thing weighs 4,800 pounds. Loaded it on my car trailer, got it off the car trailer with my lift right here. And that's where it's been sitting for 2 years because I have not cleaned space to movement. But what I did this morning was I went ahead and moved my sandblast cabinet from here, and I am going to attempt to move this mill by using a series of pipe and roll it across the floor. As you can see, I'm working with about 4 of the pipes. I'd like to get 5 under there, so let's see if it moves. See how much effort it takes. Not much, surprisingly not much. These are too short, so I'm going to leave these out. Let's just keep the process up. So as you can see, we've moved the mill across the shop, but I got to pivot this thing about 110.23 degrees, as Derek would say. So I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but I think I'm going to get a cinch strap, hook it to this 4x4 that I anchored into the concrete. Hopefully I anchored it well. We're going to find out. Well, as you can see, apparently I did a good job of anchoring these posts that hold my mezzanine up. So we're going to pivot this thing around as much as we can. You got to keep an eye on bars to make sure that you're not rolling off the bars. So we're going to keep doing this till we get it turned. Well, as you can see, the ratcheting system to the 4x4 post that holds my mezzanine up works pretty good. I've got to get this thing centered and decide how far from the wall I want it. Probably with what I'm doing, I won't need to full travel forward and back. So I think I'm going to get it a little closer to the wall. Well, as you can see, I've got the mill in place. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to remove those temporary 2x2 pieces of heavy duty tubing I put on there, or just use those as part of the base with some adjustment screws. I did have those dubbed for another project, so I may just grind the welds off, take those off, and level it another way. But I just plugged in the sensing system and just plugged in the motorized bed. So we're going to see if it's going to work. So as you can see, it does work. The bed is moving. So pretty pleased. The digital readout's working. You see there X, Y, and then Z is here. So pretty happy with this buy. I picked this mill up for $1,000 off a buddy of mine. One thing, the actual motor to the mill is a 3-phase, and I'm single phase in this garage. So my big decision is, do I buy a single phase motor that fits the faceplate of this machine, or do I buy a 3-phase inverter, they call it. What we're going to do this week is hook up this vertical mill, or knee mill, some people call it, I think. But anyway, got my idler. I've got to convert 240 single phase into 3-phase. So I have my idler motor. I have my 220 outlet, 30 amp. I have my electronic box with the capacitors and stuff, so I should be ready to hook this thing up. So let's do it. Okay, so far I got the box mounted. I got my plug box mounted. That's where I'll plug in the actual mill right here. It's a 4-phase plug. And You wire the idler motor right here with the same wires that are going to plug. You just have to take it to the plug and to the idler motor. It's the instructions I have here from the guy that built the unit. So let's keep wiring this thing. Let's get the idler motor hooked up. Let's get the plug on the end of this to go into the 220, which is right here. I'll just switch this out with my compressor when I'm using the mill. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give everybody an update on my electronic portion of hooking my three-phase converter up. What I determined was the 5 horsepower motor that I was given is basically bad. So the same gentleman I purchased the three-phase converter from sold me this guy. It says it was tested, 5 horsepower tested. So I'm going to get it hooked up and see if we can get this mill cycling here. Okay, folks, I'm headed back up to a little town in Ohio. You can see here I got my 2 electric motors, and here I got the 3-phase converter. I still haven't had luck getting this thing to work, so I'm headed back up to the guy who made this 3-phase converter with my motors, and hopefully we can get it working. So stay tuned. Okay, I'm back at my shop. They tested, they made a couple of changes, put a bigger capacitor and resistor here, changed the wire around, and let's see if she fires up the idler motor. Oh yeah, no problem. Very nice. That's how it's supposed to work. Now let me get the receptacle hooked in here, we'll plug in the middle, and see if it works. Okay, here we go.